Now on 13 WMAZ Plus.
Probably in the very near future, I think we'll hear an explosion.
That explosion now just an hour away. What you need to know before Macon's historic downtown hotel comes down.
Well, I miss it tremendously, but I know things have to move on. I wish it could continue.
From parties and events to celebrity sightings, how people are remembering the good times and sharing moments from our archive, plus taking you back to how we made it to this point.
It makes me wonder exactly what's going on the inside of this building.
It all starts right now on our special live coverage of the hotel implosion, only on 13 WMAZ Plus. Hello and Happy New Year. Welcome to our special coverage of the downtown Ramada Hotel implosion. I'm Caitlin Heck. In a little over an hour now, a prominent piece of the downtown Macon skyline will be no more. Right now, crews are getting ready to blast the hotel on 1st Street. We are going to take a live look from Coleman Hill, where crews spent a quick month clearing the debris, preparing the hotel and nearby businesses for that blast today. A reminder, there is an exclusion zone in place this morning. No one other than Target contractors should be in that zone right now. We had seen law enforcement out there sweeping the area this morning. They're asking people to stay away until at least 11 a.m. It could be longer, though. That covers areas from Mulberry Street all the way to Riverside Drive. You will also not be able to access the 2nd Street Bridge. Once that blast is done, crews will survey the site and let people know when it is safe to enter. So here's what you need to know right now as we get ready for that 9 o'clock implosion. Crews have turned off electric, water, and gas inside the exclusion zone. That won't be returned until hours after the blast. As far as the implosion itself, the lead contractor tells us it'll be a series of timed out blasts. They are using nearly 900 pounds of gelatin dynamite for this. We're going to send it out to Celine Arif. She is live out on downtown Macon this morning. And Celine, what are you seeing from your vantage point?
Good morning, Caitlin, and Happy New Year to everybody. We are getting ready to get crowds coming in. We've already got people trickling in, and actually I want to introduce you guys to a beautiful family here. We've got Miss Catherine, who came out bright and early with her 4 beautiful grandkids, if y'all want to join me here. So, Miss Catherine, why did you guys decide to come out here for the implosion?
I just wanted to see how it goes down, and feel the reaction from the building falling.
Yes, and what are you guys really looking forward to seeing?
I'm looking to see it explode, of course. Implode, of course. And I just want to have some fun.
What about
I'm
you?
looking for it to come down, and I'm going to have fun.
Oh, and what about you?
I'm just happy to be here.
Well, I think that speaks for everybody here. We are all happy to be here. This is an exciting way to bring in the new year. Not quite sure exactly what it'll look like, but we will be here to take you through it. And we're going to show you more coverage of more people as the crowds come out. We have seen some people with some lawn chairs kind of having their own little party out here in the parking lot. We are over by the Zaxby's, and cars are definitely filling it up soon. We are just going to keep you updated with more coverage right here from the corner of Zaxby's with the hotel right behind us. For now, reporting live in Macon, Celine Arif, 13 WMAZ News.
A lot of people are excited to see this big moment in Macon history. We're going to send it over to Maggie Fitzgerald now. She's live at the top of Coleman Hill, where many people are going there to take in the view. It's actually the site of the official watch party for today's implosion. So Maggie has seen people coming up there since like 6:30 this morning. Maggie, I'm sure there's a bigger crowd now.
Absolutely, Caitlin. A much bigger crowd now. I would say around 200 people are joining us on the hill at this hour. You know, we're less than an hour away at this point till that New Year's blast. We've all been waiting for Mayor Miller. Just joined us on the hill as well. We'll hear from him in a little bit, but he is going to be pushing that button. He'll be pulling the plunger to make the blast happen this morning. Something that he and many county officials have been waiting for years to do. After years of neglect, the Ramada is finally coming down. As we know, crews have been scouring the area, that exclusion zone where no one is expected to be during that blast, and for a few hours after. The zone should be clear as of 11 a.m. That's a tentative time. We'll hear from county officials as well as the demo team themselves for when the zone is actually clear. But at this point, they're working to still secure the area behind me. They've been working the streets from 3rd Street to New and Spring Street, as well as from Riverside to Mulberry, and they're keeping it all safe for us, and we're keeping it cool, keeping it warm through the cool weather up here on the hill. There's a bit of a breeze, but county officials told me that the dust from the blast is expected to go in the entire other direction. But as for now, we're live on Coleman Hill. Maggie Fitzgerald, 13 WMAZ News.
Otherwise, not a bad day for the implosion this morning, Alex, so people have a pretty good view of it.
Absolutely. So especially from the Coleman Hill vantage point, the winds are blowing in from the northwest. So it's looking to push that kind of cloud of dust, kind of smoke, whatever you want to call it, more so over downtown Macon. So obviously going to see our fair share of hazy conditions this morning. But up at Coleman Hill, you should have a great view, and including where Celine was over in the Zaxby's parking lot. So right now, not the best Skycam image. Obviously, I wish we could maybe move it a block to the left and get a better vantage point, but we will be able to see that plume of smoke once it does go up and the hotel does implode. 39 degrees to start out your morning. So yes, like Maggie did say, it is quite chilly, a little bit of a breeze, but definitely not quite too gusty all across central Georgia. Finally, our fair share of areas dipping down into the upper 30s temperature-wise, but the real number is that feels like temperature. Just a little bit of a breeze. It may not be much, maybe a sustained wind of about 5 to 7 miles an hour. It's good enough to make the temperatures feel somewhere in the low 30s across many areas here in central Georgia, as well as feeling like 34 degrees up here in Macon-Bibb County. So yesterday's almanac, pretty similar temperature-wise in the morning for the last day of 2024. And for yesterday's high temperature, quite a difference between yesterday and today. We were above the 70-degree mark yesterday. How about we take it below average for today? So definitely a good bit cooler, but still going to be very breezy out of the northwest. Some of those occasional gusts up to about 15 to 20 miles an hour at times. But a high temperature of 57, so at least you don't have to maybe just keep that winter jacket in the closet for a couple more days. Bright sunny skies will be the story all across central Georgia, so you should have a good view of everything here in downtown Macon, as well as some beautiful blue skies throughout this afternoon. Satellite and radar picture doesn't show much activity here in central Georgia, and that's going to be the trend the next 3 days. We play it through today, we play it through Thursday, not seeing anything in the way of cloud cover until we approach the overnight hours heading into early Friday morning. That's when we see mainly our northern counties seeing some scattered clouds. That may keep the temperatures a tad bit warmer up in the north as opposed to the south, and a slim chance of a sprinkle shower could clip those northernmost counties, but we will continue to play that by ear. I didn't even throw a rain chance on Friday for the 7-day forecast. And this completely dry trend really does continue all the way through Saturday, but then towards the end of the weekend, the beginning of next week, that's when our next rain chance looks to approach. We're getting a little bit better agreement amongst the long-range models, but as you can see, once we head into Monday, the GFS in green is really holding on to that rain just a tad bit longer than the Euro in blue, which has all of that rain moving offshore into the Atlantic Ocean. So as it does stand as of right now, we do have some scattered rain chances written in pencil for the end of the weekend and into the beginning of next week. So the earlier the better this weekend. So right now we are looking at afternoon high temperatures somewhere in the 50s, maybe the upper 40s, definitely going to be a below average trend for the next couple of days. And for the hotel implosion, remember those winds coming from the northwest going to push that cloud of dust further over to the southeast of the hotel. And like I said, it's a chilly start to 2025, and we are going to continue that trend into next week, maybe even a little bit longer.
All right, Alex, thank you. As we continue talking about today's implosion, check this out straight from our archive.
I'll try to get back out of the way so you can get the numbers up. 300 is what we're looking for. Oh, yes!
Well, we have covered the hotel for years. It was actually the site of many special events like this 1993 Jerry Lewis Telethon, which ran on our air. It raised money and hopes for people who suffer from muscular dystrophy. Thousands of people called into the center, set up inside the then Radisson Hotel. The final total came out to $316,000. The hotel was often used as a spot for groups to gather and host large events in a luxurious setting. And we're continuing to share your memories of the hotel. We've gotten some great stories from people. Faye Tripp told us she remembers taking her father lunch when he was part of the crew working to build the hotel. Great memory. Pam Pilcher remembers seeing celebrities there like Michael Jackson, Elvis, and Cher when she worked at the then Macon Hilton. Carletta Childs Matthews said her mother once owned the gift gallery at the then Hilton Hotel. She said she met MC Hammer and worked there as a teenager. She also remembers the staff being very friendly. The building has meant so much to so many people. Well, we want to know, where are you watching the implosion from this morning? Let us know where and how you're saying goodbye to the Ramada Hotel. Text us at 478-752-1309. We want to take a look back now at the past 3.5 weeks that have led us to this blast day. Macon Bibb had nearly 24 companies submit a bid to blow up the long vacant structure, but they ended up choosing a team out of South Carolina to carry out the project. Target Contractors has over 40 years experience in demolition, abatement, and environmental services. Some of their recent projects include NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center in Alabama and a high-rise hotel demolition in Fargo, North Dakota. They used 400 pounds of dynamite to implode that 22-story hotel. It made room for a 110-unit affordable housing complex there. The city of Fargo says the blast zone was less than a mile around the hotel. They did ask people to evacuate for more than 2 hours ahead of the implosion and stay away for 2 hours after. The project report says the Target Contractors removed more than 600,000 square feet of asbestos material from that structure before it came down. Now, as the new year gets underway, it's unclear how much additional work the site will need after the implosion. The project report from Fargo shows cleanup continued for more than a month after that implosion. Now, we were just there before Target Contractors took over the property when the site was being gutted for local Georgia Environmental Group. Maggie shared with us then how different demo crews teamed up to make the hotel blast ready.
Demolition has been completed. Right now, we're just removing debris from the building.
Casey Bullington is the founder and CEO of Georgia Environmental Group, based in Macon. And over the past 6 weeks, more than 40 of his crew members have worked through the Ramada's 16 stories to get it ready for blast.
It was a shame when we first came on site, the lobby through about the 6th floor was completely remodeled and ready to move in. And it was a shame to go in there and tear out these new finishes. I mean, new floor coverings, carpet.
But Bullington says this was not the same reality for other parts of the structure, with upper floors in the basement area filled with water and routine demo testing for asbestos.
A third party came in and did the testing, and there was anywhere from floor coverings, sheetrock, pipe insulation, what have you.
This isn't the group's first rodeo working a project at this scale. Bullington says his team has been involved in about a dozen similar projects over the past 15 years. As for the Ramada,
over the years, vandals got in there and stripped every ounce of copper pipe, copper wiring, what have you, so it was a mess.
While the group is not involved in the demo itself, they say everything is on track for the Target team to take over.
It doesn't matter how much they attempt to control, it's going to be dusty. It's going to be dusty, so I would say stay at a distance and hope everybody enjoys it.
Georgia Environmental Group crews wrapped up interior removal come in December, then Target Contractors fully took over. Now, if you've ever wanted to know what exactly goes into making a hotel blast ready, well, we've got you covered. Cracked walls, pools of water, piles of debris are just some of the things we saw 3 weeks ago inside the Ramada Hotel. The building's foundation has weakened significantly over time, which is why the county wants to bring it down. Maggie took us inside the hotel for a final time a few weeks ago ahead of today's implosion.
From the outside, the long vacant Ramada Hotel is looking more like a checkerboard of broken windows these days. But tonight we're giving you a look at the inside after 10 years of vacancy.
Solid decade of no life in the building, more or less doomed it.
An old hotel vacant for 10 years, doomed to be no more.
There was never an opportunity to redevelop it as housing, so structural integrity of the space. It was meant to be a hotel tower in the 60s, and that was all it was ever going to be.
Macon-Bibb County took ownership of the property at 108 First Street 11 months ago. That came after years of neglect and zero maintenance, which left it looking like this. Heavy amounts of water seepage up to 10 inches in various areas, weakening the Ramada overall, especially its foundation.
I call it a dangerous blighted structure. That's exactly what it is. It needs to be removed as soon as possible. And luckily we found a great company that can do it and can do it within a reasonable time. time at a good price.
Project manager J.J. Martin says the implosion itself will be a series of timed-out blasts using nearly 900 pounds of gelatin dynamite.
That minimizes the overpressure and minimizes the blast. That greatly reduces the risk of anything negative happening during the shot. And it also helps control the building due to the timing, allowing it to fall safely on its footprint.
As for the site's future, Mayor Miller says the demo will make way for a brand new hotel in the Ramada's place.
By the county exercising the right to get this property, we can control the future development here, which we intend to do. This place would make a nice hotel convention center, right? Where people can have a walkable downtown.
Now, Mayor Miller and Urban Development Director Alex Morrison say that a new hotel would connect with the proposed Renaissance on the River mixed development project planned for across Riverside Drive. Now, while an implosion is, of course, exciting, neighbors and nearby business owners have been in talks with target contractors for the last 3 weeks about how they will be protected from the blast. Maggie Fitzgerald spoke with Christ Episcopal Church about how they prepared for today's implosion.
A whole lot of scrap metal and broken windows here at 108 First Street as crews continue their prep for demolition. But according to local business owners, the structure itself is not the only thing that project manager J.J. Martin is preparing for blast.
He said that the damage, the vibration in the ground would not be any more than a car driving by. I hope he's right.
Cynthia Knapp is the rector at Christ Episcopal Church on Walnut Street. Her parish is celebrating their bicentennial anniversary next year, but until then, they're prepping for another major event right across the way.
It's really the air pressure and that dust cloud that will come that is going to be the greatest risk, and so it's the windows that we're particularly concerned about.
A meeting with demo project manager J.J. Martin last week left Cynthia feeling hopeful.
So he did tell us that it's not one big explosion, that they have a series of small explosions, and it really drops it right on the footprint where the building is.
She says contractors will install exterior covers to protect their stained glass windows, including this Tiffany window.
We had initially talked to them about covering the windows and the air handlers and everything, but in order to protect the organ, we also want to keep dust from coming into the church or into the bell tower where it would get into the organs.
And Reverend Knapp says she's meeting with the target team again later this week, and she says they won't install safety features until that Monday between Christmas and New Year's, so their services will not be impacted.
Just to look at just how much work went into getting to today's final point. Now, unfortunately, before the building comes down, someone did vandalize the old Ramada Hotel with racial and anti-Semitic graffiti. A nearby business owner contacted our newsroom after seeing a swastika and racial slur painted on the side facing his business on First Street. Maggie was downtown Monday as the demo teams worked around the site, and she spoke to people who say this is not the first time that vandals targeted the building.
Final prep is underway, and behind me is just a glimpse of what many buildings around the Ramada are starting to look like ahead of the blast. But what has yet to be put in place is the exclusion safety zone that will prevent trespassing on demo day. Styrofoam boards and sewage maintenance crews stretch across First Street, but the exclusion zone won't be in place until Wednesday morning, which led to unwanted guests long after the hotel's closure.
I don't know what it said or anything, but you know, I don't like graffiti on anything. It just mars even an old building.
Just days ahead of the hotel's blast, vandals trespassed and painted graffiti on the building, climbing to the roof of the hotel to draw a swastika and racial slurs on its side. County spokesman Chris Floor says they were able to respond quickly to the graphic tagging.
You know, all our buildings are historic, and you know it really means something to us.
Ron Carter says he's stayed at the Ramada a few times over the years, and he knows that the hotel is no stranger to vandals.
I've seen a lot of things happen to this building, from vandalism, a lot of destruction, feces, everything. I've been, you know. I'm going to miss it, though. I'm going to miss it.
This comes as the county launches their 24-hour security plan to protect the site ahead of the implosion. We're still waiting to hear details from the county about when the vandalism happened, when it was covered up, and who may be responsible. We reached out to the Bibb County Sheriff's Office, who are actively investigating the trespassing. They said they did not receive any reports of the vandalism until today.
Now, according to county officials, the vandalism happened before security measures were launched. They say those security measures, though, were not a result of the vandalism, but were there to secure the building during the final preps for the blast. The hotel was a great spot to throw a party, as we've heard from so many people, which is why in 1996, The congregation at Jackson Temple Holiness Church celebrated Mother Jackson's birthday there. She spent more than 30 years as their pastor. Before that, she worked to make the community a better place. Members back then said that the celebration was their way of giving thanks to this very special lady who had taught them so much.
The reason for this is the reason that we're here, to show her how much we appreciate her for standing up for the truth, for standing up for the Word of God, for preaching the truth.
You know, if the world had love today, there wouldn't be so many disasters in the land. All these disasters that's happening now wouldn't be in the land.
True then and true now. Hundreds came out to the hotel for the big celebration. You can see everybody looked like they had a great time. It was a great spot to hold big parties like this. Our Mother Jackson never did tell us how old she was turning. All right, we're going to send it back out to Celine Arif. She is live at the corner of Riverside Drive and Spring Street this morning, just outside of that exclusion zone. So, Celine, what are you seeing right now?
Hey, Caitlin, good morning to you. Yes, I'm telling you, the energy out here is good. Now that the sun's up, it's a little bit warmer. It's still a little chilly, which is why I've got my gloves on here. But people are coming out. We are seeing lawn chairs. We are seeing, as you can see behind me probably, a pretty full parking lot. Cars are coming in still. People are filling it up. I'm sure some people are here to get their chicken fix bright and early this morning too. But a lot of these cars are just people braving out the chilly. We've got some wind here today, just sitting in their cars and waiting for the big moment. That's what we're all waiting here for. We've got some people across the street kind of by the Checkers, but we've seen people, you know, come from North Macon. We've seen people come in big parties. It's kind of a thing we're seeing. People aren't coming alone. They're bringing their friends, they're bringing their family, and everyone's just really excited from what I can see out here. We're all waiting for the big moment, and it'll be here soon enough. It'll be here soon enough. If you want to join us, there's still some space here in this Zaxby's parking lot. It'll fill up soon though, I'm pretty sure. And we are going to keep you updated on more stuff. So as right now, as I'm looking across the street, there are people taking pictures right now, last pictures of the hotel before it finally comes down. They're getting their last selfies with the hotel, and a lot of people are excited. I think a lot of people know the history of the hotel, but there's some younger people we're seeing too who maybe never stayed in the hotel, but people who just want to see an implosion happen. Who doesn't want to see that? What a way to start your New Year's here. And again, it's warming up, which is good, but if you're coming out, bring some layers. I'm telling you, if you're staying out here for a long time, it's still a little bit chilly. But yeah, we're so excited, and cars are still coming back in, as you can see behind me here. So we're gonna keep you updated all throughout the morning. We'll be here, of course, for the very big moment that should be here soon enough. We will be here for it. So for now, reporting live in Macon, Celine Arif, 13 WMAZ News.
Thank you for staying with us as we continue to cover a breaking news situation out of New Orleans this morning. We're going to continue to update you on that story all throughout the morning. But as we continue our special streaming coverage of Macon County's implosion of the Ramada Hotel, we want to take a look at the official clock, just under 35 minutes from the blast. We hope that stays on schedule this morning. But we also want to let you know a missing Dodge County 12-year-old Tamia Owens, who we had been telling you about, has been found safe and sound. A great update. She had wandered into a house where the owners called for help. Now, we want to take our shot now from Coleman Hill in Macon. Mayor Lester Miller, county commissioners, and a host of people from near and far gathered there for the site of the official watch party this morning. We're going to send it over to Maggie Fitzgerald. She's live at the top of Coleman Hill, where many people are there to take in the view. So, Maggie, what are you seeing from your point?
Caitlin, if you look behind me, we are not alone anymore. We got here at 5:30 today, and there are hundreds of people behind me. This is the official watch party for the Ramada implosion that we've all been waiting for. I would say around 200, 300, maybe 4 are joining me at this point, and I'm here with my friends Jackie, Aaron, Kyler, and Will, who have joined us here at the party. How are you guys feeling, Jackie?
Excited.
Yeah. Have you ever seen an implosion before?
Thankfully, no. But I think it'll be fun. I'm excited to see whatever they put in place of it, because they've been doing so much downtown.
Right. They absolutely have been doing a lot downtown. And Aaron, I know you said you're originally from Pennsylvania. So, do you know any history behind the Ramada? What has led to this moment?
I do not. I've just seen old videos of it.
Yeah. Well, I know there's a lot of excitement here. How about you guys, Will and Kyler? You know, I know you brought some of your own video equipment today to capture some of the magic here, as have we. So how are you guys feeling ahead of the blast?
Pretty good. It's kind of a childhood dream. I always want to see a building go down, so today we get to see that happen. So.
A childhood dream. All right, all right. Kyler, how about you? How are you feeling? There's a lot of people here. You guys are not alone here.
Oh, it's good. It's a little chilly. For Georgia at least, you know. But other than that, it's great. The parking was a little crazy. Like you said, there's a lot of people, but we got it done, so, you know.
Amazing, amazing. Well, it's a pleasure meeting you guys. There's a bunch of folks joining us today. Again, hundreds of people at this watch party. Mayor Miller just made his way to the Hill about, I would say, 20 minutes ago. But we'll be speaking with him and other commission leaders throughout the day today. As we know, crews have spent the past few hours this morning clearing the streets behind me. If you pan over here, you know, there's going to be some backlight from the sunlight, but there's the Ramada. It's going to be, you know, torn down, have that New Year's blast at 9 a.m. The crews, law enforcement, local law enforcement from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office have cleared the streets in that exclusion zone that, as you know, stretches from Riverside Drive to Mulberry, as well as 3rd Street to New and Spring Streets. As of now, nobody should be in the zone. They have kept it safe. Of course, law enforcement and demo crews have been leading those efforts, and we are, you know, we're waiting. We are so excited. You know, people have gathered here throughout this morning, gathered with their blankets, their chairs, coffee, and we are excited. We are just minutes away at this point. After years of neglect, the Ramada is finally coming down. We'll have more updates for you as we move forward into the morning and head closer to that blast. But live in Coleman Hill, Maggie Fitzgerald, 13 WMEZ News.
Maggie, thank you for that update. I knew there was going to be a crowd there on Coleman Hill. I don't know that I was expecting that big of a crowd. As you can see, a lot of people excited for today's implosion. A lot of people have memories about this building from dating several years before. We're going to take a break. We'll be back at 8:55 with more news and weather. Continue with us now on 13 WMAZ Plus.
I had to shave it a week, so I had like a
Absolutely. I did just take a step outside and it's mighty brisk. Obviously a little bit cooler, maybe a couple of degrees as opposed to yesterday morning. But the afternoon is going to be the story in the difference temperature-wise. We are starting 2025 off rather chilly and going to continue that way for the foreseeable future, even past the next 7 days. But this is the Skycam image that we will continue to stay focused on over downtown Macon. Obviously, I wish I had a little bit of a better picture right here. Maybe if we took the Skycam, just moved it 1 block over to the left or so. But the Ramada Hotel, the old Ramada Hotel, is right here behind Hotel 45 from this vantage point. So we will get a good image of that kind of smoke and dust plume that will go up here in about 30 minutes or so. But like Caitlin was saying, and like you have seen Maggie and Celine all bundled up outside, yes, 39 degrees over downtown Macon feels more like 34 degrees because of a little bit of that breeze we still have present. So So right now temperatures are either at 39 degrees or 40 plus all across central Georgia. But like I said, with a little bit of a breeze, it may not be much, but it is good enough to make those temperatures feel a couple degrees cooler, well into the 30s across many areas here in central Georgia. That's where you're getting some of those dark blue colors on this feels like temperature map. So as we go throughout today, we are going to continue to have that slight breeze present, and I'll go more into that in just a second. But right now, I just want to put in perspective, the last day of 2024, how about 14 degrees above average? We were 73 for a high temperature yesterday here in downtown Macon. Today, we will get nowhere near that. How about 16 degrees cooler than that high temperature yesterday, only a high of 57 today. And nice sunny sky is going to continue to be the story, but the winds out of the northwest at about 5 to 10 miles an hour throughout most of the day. Those occasional gusts get up to about 15 to 20 miles an hour. It's definitely a step down from the winds yesterday. However, this is going to play an important role in where that plume of dust is going to go as the hotel does implode. So right now, satellite and radar pictures shows nothing but clear skies, maybe some clouds further up to the northwest of us here in central Georgia. And this continues to remain the story all the way until the overnight hours on Thursday, where another frontal boundary will pass through, but all it's going to do is just increase the cloud cover in our northern counties, which also have a slim chance of a sprinkle shower. But that's going to be about it. And then after that, we head into Saturday, which will still be nice and clear after more dry air is kind of inserted here into central Georgia. And then that is forecasted to be our coolest day of the next 7 days. So then we head into the end of the weekend. That's when we start to see some rain chances get close to us here in central Georgia. And then we see the drastic disagreement amongst the long range models, which has been the trend over recent weeks here in central Georgia. But sometime later on Sunday, maybe into early Monday, is when we're looking at that rain chance. So we definitely know it looks like more widespread rain all across central Georgia. It's just really a matter of when. So for your hotel implosion forecast, yes, mighty chilly, but those winds blowing from the northwest, that is going to send that plume of dust to the southeast of the old Ramada Hotel. And for the next 7 days, going to trend below average, nice and sunny skies until we get into the beginning of next week, where we could welcome in our next rain chance.
All right, Alex, thank you. A reminder, there is an exclusion zone in place now around the Ramada Hotel as we count down the final minutes before today's blast. So at this point, no one other than Target contractors should be in that zone. They're asking people to stay away from this area in red until at least 11 a.m. It could be longer. We'll continue to keep you updated on that as everything kind of settles. And it covers areas from Mulberry Street all the way to Riverside Drive. You will also not be able to access the 2nd Street Bridge during that time. Once the blast is done, crews will survey the site and let people know when it's safe to re-enter. Now, before the county voted to implode the hotel back in November, we had last reported on it in May of 2024. That is when the carpet, along with the bathtubs and toilets, were removed to limit the debris once the building finally did come down. Mayor Lester Miller was hopeful back in May that a film company would help contribute to the payment of the blast in order to use it in their film. So far, we haven't heard from the county on any interest for that, though. The month before that, in April, Mayor Miller gave an update on the plans for the hotel in his State of the Community address. It's when he not so subtly hinted his plans for the hotel to come down by the end of the year.
We're going to change the look of our skyline by removing that old hotel that so many private developers have been unable to revitalize. Yes, it's coming down.
Yep, and it's coming down today. Other than saying he wanted it to happen, the mayor was pretty tight-lipped about plans for the space until now. All this time, he never ruled out imploding the building, though. But the possibility of that implosion didn't fall into place until the county actually bought the property. So here's how this all happened. Hotel owner Ruby Sanga ran out of money trying to renovate the building. He filed for bankruptcy. It was denied by a judge, and the hotel went up for sale in April of 2023. Well, then in August of that year, a federal judge appointed a receiver to help Sanga sell the hotel. And here's Ashlyn Webb reporting reactions from when the hotel went up for sale again.
It'd be nice if they did something with it.
I'm hoping that somebody come in and see the true value of it and bring it back to life.
Ron English and James Freeman work across the street from 108 First Street. They've witnessed the loud sounds of construction and the silence of the old hotel sitting idle.
You'd be surprised every now and then when all of a sudden somebody's out cutting back some of the bushes one day and then you don't see anything for several months, and then you see contractors and you think, oh, something's happening, and then you don't see something for several months or years.
But with this news of the hotel filing bankruptcy and having dragged out money troubles.
It makes me wonder exactly what's going on the inside of this building.
The listing shows what the inside of the 16-story building looks like now. Stacked plywood in the ballroom, unfinished rooms, and debris from construction scattered in the front lobby. Simply a lot of work to be done. Not much of a difference from what our camera saw in August 2021 when owner Ruby Sanga gave me a tour of the hotel.
Every inch of this property has been touched.
Then Sanga claimed he had poured $12.5 million into renovations. But according to the listing, the estimated renovation cost for a new owner is another $12.5 million, nearly $42,000 per room.
I don't think I'd pay $1 for it because from what I heard, it'd take a fortune just to bring it back up to spec.
So after that, it was receiver Master Innkeeper's goal to find someone to address the problems with the hotel to try to sell it. In November of 23, Indo Ventures won an online auction for the property. They bid a little over $4 million. The next week, though, the receiver terminated that agreement. Macon-Bibb County ended up making a deal with the receiver a month later to buy the building. The county agreed to buy it in January of 2024 for more than $4 million, which was more than $7 million less than what the former owner originally asked for. Well, then Macon-Bibb commissioners finally approved the sale. Anthony Montalto was there when that approval went through and shared what the county was planning to do with the space.
Over the last month or so, we've reported pretty extensively about the county's plans to purchase the old hotel, but until now, we haven't really heard much about what they plan to do with it. Now, after a unanimous commission vote, Mayor Lester Miller says they are keeping their options open.
Probably in the very near future, I think we'll hear an explosion.
Miller always said the county wasn't interested in buying the hotel unless it involved seats at the implosion. But after Tuesday's approval, he says there's a long-term goal too.
We get site control, we bring a developer in to develop the property, we get out of it, the taxpayers are fully reimbursed over a land lease or cash buyout, and it does positive growth for Macon-Bibb County. So we're not going to be owning and operating a hotel.
He says it would work similarly to the East Bank development on Coliseum Drive. Developers pitch ideas to the county and they decide whether to let the developer build.
Get the property ready for development and then bring a master planner or a developer in and develop the property at their expense, and we reap the benefits of that.
Commissioners told us last week they hadn't heard much about future plans. Some floated a smaller hotel. Others suggested a parking garage. Like Miller, many of them said the best thing would probably be to start fresh.
The best thing for that hotel is to remember all the great memories we had there and the history of that and look forward to another positive development there, which means that hotel probably going to have to come down.
Now, Miller says they plan to close within the next month or so. He says right now they're in their due diligence phase, trying to figure out what it looks like inside and also taking inventory of what might be there.
Now, 2 months ago, we reported that Mayor Miller said the building isn't structurally sound to build affordable housing there, but he says the demolition could make way for another project called Renaissance on the River. It was also approved to move forward in a commission meeting in November of last year. That project will include a mixed-use development on the west bank of the river along Riverside Drive. Now, as you can see, there's been a lot of buildup for today. We're going to send it over now back live to Maggie Fitzgerald, who's on Coleman Hill, where a lot of people are gathering to take in the view this morning. So, Maggie, how's it going up there? All right, sounds like we're having a bit of technical difficulties with the microphone there, but Maggie's out there with Mayor Lester Miller. He is out on Coleman Hill for that official watch party this morning. We're going to hear from him a little later on in the show. Of course, this has been a big project of his, as we've been reporting over the past little bit, so hopefully we'll get another update from him shortly. Now, coming straight from our archive, a 2006 fire at the then Crown Plaza signaled the beginning of the end for the hotel. Macon-Bibb fire crews were on the scene at the time. There was a meeting in the building after 5, so hotel staff had to evacuate some of the meeting space. People waiting on the sidewalk across the street and closed a portion of the road. Within the last hour, we have learned an update. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll have more details on a breaking news story we're covering this morning. 35 injured after a vehicle intentionally drove into a crowd there. The Associated Press reporting it happened along Canal and Bourbon Streets, notoriously a popular spot for revelers. New Orleans police say it happened in just the first hours of New Year's Day. They say someone drove into the crowd of people, fired at police, hitting 2 officers. The officers are expected to be okay. Investigators said they found an improvised explosive device at the scene. The FBI is now investigating, and they do say this was not terrorism related. Officials now telling us the driver has died. As we learn more about this breaking news event, we will of course continue to bring you the latest updates. An update now on a story we have been following on a missing Dodge County 12-year-old Tamia Owens. We're told she has been found safe and sound. She had wandered into a house where the owners called for help. Now it is Implosion Day in downtown Macon as the old Ramada Hotel is set to come down. We're going to go back out to Maggie Fitzgerald. She is live at the top of Coleman Hill, where a lot of people are taking in the view, and she's been talking with Mayor Lester Miller this morning.
That's right, Caitlin. We're live here on Coleman Hill where hundreds of people have joined us finally for the official watch party of the implosion of the Ramada. And we're joined live here. We have the pleasure of speaking with Mayor Lester Miller just less than about 15 minutes away from the implosion. You know, this is years in the making. How are you feeling right now?
Exciting. A little bit nervous, you know. I get to hit the button and we get to see the implosion, but Happy New Year, by the way. This is the way we want to start out our New Year this year, and certainly a lot of people have come today in support of this, and they're looking forward to what may replace the old Ramada Hotel.
What do you take of this crowd behind you? There are hundreds of people here from, you know, around Macon, around Georgia. I spoke with a gentleman who traveled all the way up from Maine the other day. So this is, you know, this is bringing people together here. How do you feel about that?
19-hour trip to come see this implosion. I think you're going to see a lot of those stories. So I can't wait to get on social media later on and find out all the people that came here. Thanks to Channel 13 and the WMAZ for sharing all those stories of people. It really brought this to life. And now it's going to be a new day in Macon, a new beginning. And this is what it's about, starting the new year out with a bang. And we're going to continue continue to build on that.
Absolutely. And what can you tell us about the team bringing down the Ramada? You know, you worked with them for months at this point. Target Contractors and project manager J.J. Martin, we've spoken with him as well. What can you tell us about that team?
I can tell you they're very first class. I mean, they go above and beyond everything we were asked them to. Safety first. They want everyone to be safe and secure, and they've been doing that job over the last several weeks. We're so excited that we chose them to do this job, and I can't wait for the countdown coming up soon.
Absolutely. And your final message to, you know, viewers and folks tuning in to our stream, waiting to see the action happen here today. What is your final message to them?
Making Bibb County is going big, baby, so that's what we're going to do in 2025.
Going big for sure in 2025. You heard it here, folks, from Mayor Miller himself. We're live at Coleman Hill. Maggie Fitzgerald, 13 WMAZ News.
Going big, baby, the theme of 2025 for all of us at this point. Of course, a lot of planning went into today. We've been covering that all morning. Well, something you can't really plan for, though, is the weather. So thankfully, it's cooperating today.
Yes, exactly. The winds are going down just a little bit. No more reasonable gusts. We're talking maybe gusts up to about 20 miles an hour as opposed to 35 miles an hour, what we did have yesterday. But it's mighty chilly. The good news is the warm up has ensued, hopefully. 39 degrees here over downtown Macon, still feeling like 34 degrees. And temperatures not going to get as high as they have the past couple of days. So yes, it is definitely going to be a chillier day, but starting off 2025 on a cooler note, and that will continue to be the trend throughout this forecast, and not only that, past the 7-day forecast. But right now, temperatures all over central Georgia. Looks like some areas are beginning their warm up this morning back above that 40-degree mark, if they did briefly dip down into the upper 30s temperature-wise. The winds are definitely a little bit gustier further up to the north and the northwest here in central Georgia. So more than likely going to get fairly gusty here in just a little bit in downtown Macon as we do approach implosion time, and maybe some gusts already up to about 16 miles an hour like you're seeing over in Upson County in Thomaston. So the feels like numbers still are a fair share of areas that are feeling like the 30s. If not, you're just feeling a couple degrees warmer above that 40-degree mark, those wind chill values. Because of that slight breeze, it may not look like much. It is enough to drop that temperature down, at least make it feel a couple degrees cooler. So the forecast for your first day of 2025, the big thing is the wind gusts out of the northwest around 5 to 10 sustained, but maybe a gust up to about 20 miles an hour at times. That northwesterly breeze is going to push that plume of dust further to the southeast of the Ramada Hotel. So that looks like it's going to move over the downtown Macon area. But the good news is if you're up at Coleman Hill or over where Celine is, over in the Zaxby's parking lot, it is looking like you will get a good view from there, and you hopefully won't have to worry about any smoke moving over that area. But how about a high temperature of 57 for today? Yes, this is quite a difference from 73 is what we hit in downtown Macon yesterday. And this is just the start of the cooling trend that we are expecting for the beginning of the new year. Satellite and radar picture is all clear right now, and just judging from the Skycam picture, clear blue skies should be the story throughout today. And not only today, that will take it into the second day of January tomorrow, where we will still see our fair share of blue skies. And then we head into the early overnight hours, early morning hours on Friday. You'll see some cloud cover mixed into the picture, but this will be pretty short-lived, and this is expected to clear out by the time we head into the afternoon and into the evening, and continue to clear out, and so nice clear skies for your Saturday afternoon in store as well. So in terms of the wind gusts, you'll see that they continue to ever so slowly calm down as we head into tomorrow. So winds not looking to be as much of a factor tomorrow as opposed to today and as opposed to yesterday here in central Georgia. But the high temperatures, since we don't have much in the form of really rain over the next couple of days, those temperatures just showing you they're going to be below average. And then for the hotel implosion, yes, going to be chilly and windy, and that will be the trend besides the winds as we go into the end of the week, and then the rain chance crowds the end of Sunday into the beginning of next week.
All right, Alex, thank you. Now, in the days leading up to the Old Ramada's New Year's Day implosion today, county leaders and the team behind the project did prioritize safety. But before the blast, Maggie Fitzgerald spoke with neighbors downtown who say their prep looked a little different.
Weeks of demo and safety prep have left business owners feeling ready for the implosion. And for neighbors right outside the exclusion zone, they expect business to go on as usual.
I've watched them on TV, you know, documentaries and stuff, but I've never seen one. I was going to stand on this corner and watch it.
Anthony and Kimberly Monroe live in an apartment right on Mulberry, a street that's been greenlit to remain open on New Year's Day for the implosion.
It's out of the main flow, you know. And most people that come through here, they just go up that way, going toward Bible.
Out of the flow and outside of the exclusion zone, New Street is right at the end of their block, which marks the furthermost part of the demo team's evacuation area. The backyard of their complex overlooks the streets that will be cleared for blast. But as of now, the Monroes are safe and will not be asked to evacuate.
It's real quiet. It's a lot quieter than I thought it would be here.
But it won't be quiet on the morning of January 1st. While their New Year's plans to stay home remain the same, they know to expect a loud boom.
When I moved here, I was like, wonder what that used to be, because it's empty, you know? I figured it was some kind of hotel. I'm expecting the ground to rumble. I figure we're going to feel it, you know, because that's like 16 floors.
I think it's going to probably be about like an earthquake.
Together, they'll stay outside the exclusion zone, whether it's on the ground or in the air.
Beautiful, and a good view of the implosion. From here. So I think that's where we'll watch it from up here.
A front row seat to the action on the rooftop of their complex. And while there were a few concerns, the Monroes say they feel safe.
Now, I was concerned about possibly about the asbestos and stuff that they said was in there, but they said they got it out. Wondering about the fallout, you know, maybe a lot of dust on the cars and stuff, probably all it'll be. What I'm thinking, it makes you feel safe, I guess, you know, that they're looking out for us like that.
And for people without a rooftop view who are looking to see the implosion in person, the county is hosting a watch party here at Coleman Hill on New Year's Day.
A lot of people looking for a good view of the building as it comes down today. We're going to head out live to Mayor Lester Miller this morning to give us an update.
All right, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I hope it's a lot better than that.
I was so scared for a second. I didn't know what time it was.
A couple warnings. You'll hear some things at 2 minutes, 1 minute, and then we'll begin the countdown. So thank you.
All right, so I guess it was a little practice run for us as we get ready for the blast. It's supposed to be about 7 minutes away, so I think it was just getting us all excited and ready for it. You can see the big crowds out there on Coleman Hill this morning. We're going to go out to Selena Arif. She has another look at the hotel this morning from downtown Macon.
Hi, good morning and Happy New Year, everybody. I'm telling you, I just cannot stop smiling. The energy out here is insanely incredible. People are cold, but people are so happy, so excited. We're seeing a lot of selfies right now with the hotel for the last time. We are seeing people bring their kids out here. You guys, these kids are going to grow up having those core memories of being here the day the hotel came down. This is so neat. We're seeing watch parties. We are seeing people bring their coffee. It's kind of cold again, like I said, so people are staying warm with their hot drinks. And a lot of people are bundled up they're in their lawn chairs. Some people are standing. People are coming out of their cars. I don't know if you can tell, but it is a full lot behind me. Thank you to Zaxby's for letting all of us park here for the implosion party. And we're so excited to bring you along as it starts to come down in just a few minutes going on. So for now, reporting live in Macon, Selena Arif, 13 WMAZ News.
Celine, again, that implosion set to happen in about 5 minutes from now. We're going to take a final look at Macon's downtown hotel in just a few minutes. All right, here we look. The last moments of the Ramada, the Hilton, the Crown, the Plaza, whatever your name was for the hotel. The building will no longer stand in just minutes. Again, the countdown clock looking at about 5 minutes from now based on the county's timeline. All right, again, you just got that final view. We have all kinds of views this morning as people are excited about this implosion. This building has meant a lot to a lot of people over the decades that it's been part of the Macon skyline. So it's really such a big change for so many people as we're going to see it come down today. 900 pounds of dynamite will take the building down. A lot of preparation has gone into today, from putting in the exclusion zone to making sure that people are safe as we see the building come down. To, of course, a lot of the excitement too and the prep to build it up as people share their stories about what this building has meant to them. We've seen a huge crowd out there at the official watch party on Coleman Hill where Mayor Lester Miller is this morning. He's going to be pushing the button to make the building come down this morning. So we're going to make sure sure we get that. He gave us a little fake out a couple minutes ago. I think they were practicing. So don't worry, you didn't miss it. It's still standing as of right now. Again, the official countdown clock about 4 minutes from now. We also have another live view from the corner of Riverside Drive and Spring Street this morning. Celine Arif is out there. She also said she was seeing a pretty big crowd of people out there as we get ready for this building to come down. Of course, the weather, a big part of today too. Thankfully, clear skies as we go into implosion days. We're going to head to Alex with a look at how that could impact today's implosion.
Yes, so we're looking at improved conditions in terms of the winds that we do have today. At least they're not as gusty, up to about 30 to 35 miles an hour. Going to go down a tick, maybe some gusts occasionally up to about 15 to 20 miles an hour. They will be blowing in from the northwest, so that's going to send this plume of dust to the southeast of the hotel. So that's looking to bring all those hazy conditions to most of downtown Macon. But like I have said, it looks like conditions at Coleman Hill and over in Zaxby's, anywhere to the west of where that hotel is, are going to be perfect for viewing this. But also quite chilly and windy as you head out the door for watching this implosion. So you can see temperatures are going to be nestled in the 40s, even feeling like the 30s across many areas, including downtown Macon. And like I said, still going to be a bit hazy even as we head throughout the rest of the morning hours, as that dust does begin to settle back on down to the ground after it does get sent up into the sky, as we do eagerly await the implosion of the old Ramada Hotel. And here's another look at your 7-day forecast. No 60s, no 70s, trending cooler for the next week here in central Georgia. It looks like sunshine will be very abundant for New Year's Day today, the second day of January, and most of Friday and Saturday, before we welcome in some clouds with our next more organized rain chance that we do have in the picture. And that looks like it could trend into the beginning of next week as well. But now we're going to send it back out to Maggie Fitzgerald over at Coleman Hill with the latest update on the implosion.
That's right, Alex. We're still out here. We've been out here for a few hours now. And if you take a look behind me, this is what the final crowd is looking like ahead of the long-awaited Ramada implosion. It's, a sight to see out here. It's the official watch party that the county and other organizations in the area have put together for guests like the folks behind me to get a glimpse of the action. Target Contractors, LLC, the South Carolina-based company, will be bringing it down in just, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So this is a last look at the crowd that has joined us here today. We have a lot of excitement in the area. We just spoke with Mayor Miller, who is feeling that excitement as well. We're gonna hear from him in just a second. He's gonna be leading the countdown for hundreds and hundreds of people from across Georgia, across the area, to witness history come down. But we're live at Coleman Hill. Maggie Fitzgerald, 13 WMAZ News.
All right, thank you, Maggie. Here it is, our last views of the Ramada Hotel as it graces the Macon skyline for its last moments. About a minute left before the scheduled implosion. Again, Mayor Lester Miller going to be the one to hit the button to make it all come down, as people from near and far have come to watch this. So many people have shared their stories about what this building has meant to them, from celebrity sightings to people who have worked there. So it really holds a lot of special meaning to a lot of people, which is why you see the excitement out there on Coleman Hill, out there on Riverside Drive where Celine is, where people are gathered there to watch this building come down. Again, a lot of prep work has gone into today, from making sure the building is secure to gutting the building. This has been a several-week process, all leading up to these last, hopefully, seconds at this point, according to Mayor Lester Miller's timeline. 9 a.m. scheduled to be the implosion time. We're going to go ahead and start getting ready for this building to come down within the next couple of seconds. Again, Mayor Lester Miller, the one that's going to hit the button to send this building down.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You done good.
They had it like all, you know, for safe purposes. So they had it all in check.
All right, well, there it is, and there it's gone. The Ramada Hotel officially down this morning. The implosion, a lot of planning went into this, and now it has come down. 900 pounds of dynamite took down the building. You could hear people in the background cheering from Coleman Hill. They all came excited to watch this historic building and this historic part of Macon skyline come down. Of course, a lot of people all through downtown Macon were there to watch this happen. This building has been a part of Macon skyline for decades, meant a lot to a lot of people. So again, you heard those cheers of excitement as people saw that implosion. Now, a little housekeeping here. Things are going to be closed until about 11 o'clock this morning as crews go in to inspect everything to make sure that everything is okay. There is still that exclusion zone in place, so make sure you stay out of that area if you do have plans to go near downtown Macon this morning. So no one other than the contractors are supposed to be in that exclusion zone. They're going to turn utilities back on a little later this morning, and they're going to let people know when it is safe to re-enter. At this point, that's scheduled for around 11 a.m., but we'll, of course, continue to keep you updated as we get updates from the mayor and the contractors. So we're going to head on over to Maggie now. She was there as Mayor Lester Miller pressed the button to bring the building down. So, Maggie, what are you hearing from people? We heard a lot of cheers.
I'm hearing cheers, claps, you know, relief is what I'm hearing and seeing around Coleman Hill right now, especially from Mayor Lester Miller himself. His fist went right in the air as he did a very short countdown. It wasn't from 10, it was more like 5. But, you know, dust is settling in the air across downtown Macon. And this has been, you know, weeks and years in the making for this historic, you know, ending to the Ramada Hotel. And Mayor Lester Miller, I've never seen him more excited, honestly. And, you know, you could hear cheers just about a minute or two ago from folks from across the area. Again, we are joined by hundreds of people around Coleman Hill. You can see them behind me. People gathering, families here. Hi, guys. You know, all taking in the excitement here. Some people are already heading out, as you can see, because, you know, the moment's over. The moment that we've all been waiting for came and went by pretty fast, but it was exciting nonetheless. And we're going to be hearing from, you know, Mayor Miller and other county officials throughout the day about details about, you know, the amount of explosives that have come here. We're trying to look for Mayor Lester Miller right now. I'm sure he was shaking hands. He was shaking hands with folks as the hotel came down. We're trying to find him here. Oh, there he is. How about you come with me over here? We're going to hear from Mayor Miller, see what he has to say. Before, you know, the building came down, he told me that it was a Happy New Year. A Happy New Year at that. It's a new era and a new year for Macon-Bibb County. And Mayor Miller, he's taking some photos with some folks right now. A lot of excitement here, as you can see. He's been shaking hands. Mayor Miller, you know, your first, how you feeling?
Man, I could get used to that. I think it's, I don't know how to explain the feeling, but I know my heart rate had to be like 150 when that thing went down.
That was a pretty quick countdown. You kind of had me.
Yeah, well, you know, they were saying 10-9, and basically I picked it up at 7 because I was just so excited about it. But I think it went down just like it's supposed to go down, and I think, you know, they're going to clean up now, and everybody's going to be very excited. I still ask people to stay away from there, you know, for a little while, get them a chance to get everything cleaned up. But we're very excited about it went successful today, and looking forward to what that site's going to bring.
Of course, a routine project at that. It was a beautiful sight to see, I'm sure. You've never seen an implosion like this one. And, you know, what can you tell folks who haven't, you know, stayed in touch with our coverage as of recent? What can you tell them about the future of the site and the Ramada?
Well, we hope that the future is going to be something like a hotel convention center that can bring a lot of people on this side of the river to downtown, so it makes it very walkable. I think that skyline won't be empty for very long, so those that are going to miss that skyline, you can look at it now, you'll probably see something different in a few years. So we're excited what may go there, and just really about all Macon-Bibb County, but in particular that area out there in the next several years.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate it. Well, we're so excited. You know, we're still reporting here throughout the morning with you from Coleman Hill. We'll give you updates as we move into the morning, but we're live here on Coleman Hill. Maggie Fitzgerald, 13 WMAZ News.
All right, Maggie, thank you. Definitely an exciting day in Macon. Viv, you can see Melissa Miller very excited about everything going smoothly so far. We're going to head out to Celine Arif. She is live in downtown Macon as well with a different vantage point. So, Celine, what were people doing there when the building came down?
Yeah. Hi, good morning. We are here with Mr. Kelvin Oliver. People are excited, still feeling all of the emotions coming down from that. So for you, what was it like seeing that?
It was tremendous. I mean, everything turned out perfect. I was in a good area, and things just turned out perfect. And I just think that this is a history being made, and for me to be the first time to see a building being explode, and a lot of people came out from Macon, Middle Georgia. I met a couple of people from around here in from Fort Valley, and everything just turned out well. You know, it's first time, you know, and I enjoyed it. I woke up kind of late this morning, but I asked my wife to remind me to get up so I can come to see this. So I set my alarm clock, and maybe I got here just a little bit time enough to enjoy the explosive, and everything turned out well.
Yes, it really did. And we got a great view because we were right here in front of the hotel. I mean, it came down so smooth. Did you expect it to kind of come down all just at once?
It came down once, but I thought it was going to take a little bit longer, but it didn't take. Once the explosion started, everything just fell like it's supposed to, you know, and it turned out really well. It really did.
Yeah, almost like something out of a movie. I am telling you, that was my first time seeing an implosion too, and the emotions in the crowd. I mean, people were cheering. People, what were you seeing with the crowd here?
Well, I just seen a lot of cheering, and I seen a lot of people enjoying themselves. Just more people, just more so like just just trying to interact with other people. And a couple told me that this is their second time seeing it, but they don't been to other explosives too, so this is the first time for me. I wish I could have brought my grandkids down here, but they were asleep. I didn't want to wake them up this morning.
Oh, well, that would have been a special memory, but I know there's a lot of families out here. There's a lot of folks out here. I'm telling you, there's some traffic on the road right now as people are trying to head back home after seeing the implosion that everybody was waiting for, and we finally got it. Kicking off the new year with a big bang here. Big bang here in Macon, Georgia. So reporting live for now here in Macon, Celine Arif, 13 WMAZ News.
Thank you, Celine. What a special moment for a lot of people to see that building come down. You could just hear the excitement in everyone's voice as they're talking about this. So since it was so exciting, why don't we watch it again? Let's take a look at the Ramada as it came down just about 8 minutes ago. There it was, and there it went. The building, you heard the explosives, and then you saw it go down. You heard all the cheers from people. We're taking a live look now from our drone. You can see everything is gone. The building is no longer there. You can see that definitely that dust has settled a little bit, the wind kind of taking it away. Again, now the cleanup starts. So they're going to get crews out there to begin searching the area, making sure everything is clean and safe. So that exclusion zone is still in place. So make sure if you are in downtown Macon today that you stay out of that area until they're saying at least 11 o'clock. We'll continue to keep you updated as we learn more. But again, that building no longer a part of Macon skyline, and a lot of people excited about that. Now, before it came down, and saw a lot of people were gathering to watch the building come down. If you were out there and you took any photos as you're getting ready to see the building come down, or if you have any other special memories about the building and an impact it had on you, make sure you send those to us. You can text them to 478-752-1309. We'll be sharing those all throughout our coverage as we continue covering, now that the Ramada is down, the cleanup and the rebuild process. We want to thank you for tuning in on this New Year's Day for our special coverage of Macon's Ramada Hotel Implosion. Make sure you join us at midday for reactions to the implosion, post-blast plans, and long-term goals for the cleanup process. Continue with us on 13 WMAZ Plus for more news and weather. Of course, you can download it on Roku, Fire, or Apple TV devices. We hope you have a great morning.